We would now like to welcome the monastic teachers. Can everyone please stand? And if everyone can just face forward. If everyone can put their hands together, and we will start off with 3 bows to the Buddha. First bow, second bow, third bow. Please remain standing. Now, we will do 1 bow to the teachers. 1 bow. Thank you. Please have a seat.
Good morning, everyone. This is Sunday, right? Sunday morning. Not so early for a monk, but very early for most people. So let's all stand up right now. And then follow me, and please, monastics, do the hokey pokey and turn around. Turn around. Okay? Do it 3 times if you like. But relax. Okay? Just relax. Because this is the Buddhist way to happiness, so we have to be happy. Please sit down. My name is Shifu Zhihan. Hard to pronounce, right? So just call us Shifu, like in Kung Fu Panda. Kung Fu Panda, when he sees the teacher, he calls him Shifu, Shifu. But it's actually Shifu, it means teacher. Yeah, so Shifu 1, 2, 3. And then, so to abbreviate, you can call me Shifu Han, and then Shi, and Shifu Sha. Okay. Some people asked from which tradition we are from. We were ordained as Buddhist monks in Taiwan, in the Chinese Buddhist tradition in Taiwan. However, we do not subscribe to any particular lineage, per se, because we actually learn from Theravada monks, we learn from Mahayana monks, and we also listen and read and learn from Tibetan monks. So we pretty much adopt the practice that enhances our spiritual path. Yeah. And I personally practice more anapanasati and the chanting of mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, and the venerables, they practice the Pure Land Buddhism, they chant to Amitabha. So we are quite diverse here. And usually the vision that we give most people, since I'm talking about Buddhism 101, since we're introducing Buddhism 101, I want to say that it is not good to always think that your teacher or your lineage is the best. That is not the Buddhist way. The Buddhist way of seeing things is actually very more open. Any practice that can enhance our spirituality, we would give it a try and see if it fit our disposition. But it's not good to get into these, we are better, you're not as good. You know, that's man-made stuff. That's not Buddhism. Okay? So, what is Buddhism? Today, the topic is the Buddhist way to happiness. So, Buddhist way. So there is a conventional way, right? What is the conventional way? The Disney way. Snow White. I don't know. I only know Snow White. Which one? Mickey Mouse. The Cinderella way, where the purpose, the life purpose of any human being The search for happiness is to find that other half that complements you. Okay? So I see in the room mostly adults. So we all have given that a try already. And then I won't ask how it turns out, but it's sweet and sour, I can tell you. Yeah. So the Buddhist way to happiness is not the conventional way. And that's what we're going to explore today. Okay. So Buddhism 101. What is Buddhism? Most people ask, is Buddhism a religion? Sure, it is a religion. It is organized. It has institutions, has temples, has rituals. It is a religion. But is it only religion? No, it isn't. Is Buddhism a philosophy? So philosophy comes from the word, in Greek, it means love for wisdom. Philosophia, philosophy. It means the pursuit of wisdom. So, is Buddhism a pursuit of wisdom? Sure it is. A love for wisdom? Yes, definitely. Is Buddhism a psychology? Oh, definitely. If you read the Buddhist suttas and sutras of different traditions, it's all about human psychology, understanding human emotion as they are and being able to manage it, dominate, understand it. So it's social psychology. Is it scientific? Wow, very scientific. As scientific as quantum physics. Because it talks about the energy of the mind, energy of the body, as well as energy of your speech. How it affects all your surrounding. Is it education? Yes. It's about learning how to be a human being, harmoniously living with others. Last but not least, it is, in my opinion, the art of living, the art of harmonious living. So, what is Buddhism? Buddhism, the short answer would be, Buddhism is a religion as well as a philosophy, psychology, science, education, and art of living. So what is it? You call it what you want. But it's definitely not something theoretical only. Everything in Buddhism taught by the Buddha is meant for one purpose. And that purpose, well, actually two, but one comes from the other. The first purpose is to reduce our suffering and even eliminate it. And while we are reducing our suffering, we help others reduce other people's suffering. That will be the two main purposes. So if you read something and then you say, it's great, no anger. Yes, no anger. And then you turn around, you get angry at someone, then you are not really practicing it. It's just theoretical. It's just a knowledge. It's not an experience. Okay? So that is Buddhism. Now, who is the Buddha? Buddha, most people think of it as a person or a being. But the truth is the word Buddha comes from the Sanskrit root Buddha, B-U-D-H, which means to awaken, to enlighten. So Buddha is title given to someone who is enlightened, the enlightened one. That is the Buddha. Now, from time without beginning, we have had enlightened ones. The last enlightened one, according to Buddhism, was Buddha Shakyamuni, who was born 2,500 years ago in India. He was a prince, he was a human, and he let go of he basically did not want his throne, he did not want to become a king, and then set on the path in search of enlightenment. And he became enlightened. That Buddha Shakyamuni we call the historical Buddha. Okay. Now, Buddha is actually a title, like doctorate degree. It's a degree given to someone who has fulfilled two aspects of spiritual practice: compassion and wisdom. So that is what a Buddha is. So, sitting right here, I'm talking, you listening, you're thinking. All of us, we are considered possible future Buddhas. Okay? Because from the perspective of the Buddhist philosophy, if Buddha Shakyamuni, Prince Siddhartha Gautama, was able to reach enlightenment, if we follow the path, so can we. So this Buddha can be understood as the historical Buddha or future Buddhas. Now, of course, to become Buddha, we have to work on it. We have to work on our few aspects of ourselves, improve ourselves. And this is something that we will talk about, because as we improve ourselves, we will get closer and closer to the Buddhist way of happiness. Now, because it is the enlightened one, definitely the Buddha, we're not talking about it's a creator God, nor he's a deity. No. Buddha is a model for us to pursue so that we practice and we can reach that same level, equal, no less. That is a vision that the Buddha taught 2,500 years ago. He said, if I can reach Buddhahood, so can all sentient beings. Yeah. What is karma? Nowadays, karma is closely related to predestiny. If something bad happens to you, you fall down, oh, that's your karma. If you get hit by a car, that's your karma. No, that would not be the Buddhist definition of karma. Karma, translated into English, just means actions. Action. And the word karma is not a standalone word. It's actually, when it's mentioned in the suttas and sutras, it's always karma and vipaka. V-I-P-A-K-A. Vipaka, which means consequence. So, what does karma mean? Action and consequence. Or action-reaction. Now, the karma as a model is very important in Buddhism because we call it the universal rule, how the universe works, how beings interact, how we relate to each other. So, when we say karma, actions, we talk about corporal actions, body, verbal actions, speech, mental actions. Please change the battery there. Hello? Yeah. Okay. So we talk about mental actions, the mind. There are only 3 ways that a human being can manifest himself or herself. It is through body, speech, and mind that we manifest our existence. We think, we say, we do, we act. Okay. Now, the degree in which we can act, say, or think, there are degrees of very strong karma or light, weak karma, weak actions. Strong karma can lead to the resulting in a future life, which destiny we end up. Okay, so I'm giving you like a few categories of what karma, or adjectives that we can attribute to karma. Karma, heavy karma, light karma, corporal karma, mental karma, verbal karma, and then there's the karma as actions, then there are consequences. So they are what we call floor, that's Spanish, sorry. Flower consequence, and then fruit consequence. Give you an example. If someone goes to a convenience store, steals something, gets caught, and he's put in jail, is that fruit or flower consequence? Flower. Still not the fruit. Because first we get flower, then we get fruit. The fruit of that karma, the consequence, will come later. The flower effect, it's a pre-sequel, nothing more. So that's why a lot of people misunderstand that the karma is instant. Karma and consequence is not instant. It depends on the nature of that action, the intention of that action, and how it was carried out, and whether it has all the right conditions to come to fruition this lifetime. However, just so you know, usually the light actions, light karma, not so heavy ones, come to fruition in this lifetime, here and now. The heavy karma usually come to fruition at the time of death, which will lead one into the next life. Yeah. And then we actually work a lot with palliative care. And then we can tell you lots of stories about how one, before the end of life, see their own home movie. How they see their entire life flash through, and then either they get scared or they become happy or calm about how they have lived their life. Karma, there is new and old karma. Remember that. The truth is, every single moment, we are creating new actions, new karma. This new action can be a consequence of past habits. However, our free will, because we have free will, we are deciding all the time what to do when we come to that crossroad of choosing. Karma as a model can be complicated, very complicated. But it can be very simply understood also. How so? In the Buddhist model, and I would say in Buddhism 101, I will tell everyone that you need to understand everything that happens in your life, what kind of parents, what kind of physique, what kind of height, what kind of everything, your intelligence, all your attributes, and your environment are all direct or indirect consequence of all your actions in the past life and or past lives. So it is very important to understand that you are your own, you created your own world. Assuming responsibility for everything that you do and everything that happens to you, it is the beginning to a better change in your life. But human nature, we have something in common. Usually, it's someone else's fault. Anything happens, it's someone else's fault. We have great abilities in finding someone to put the guilt on. And if you cannot find anybody, boy, it's gotta be my parents. Because they brought you to this world, you think. No, they were the medium through which you came to this world. But who willed the existence? Guess who? Ourselves. We wanted to be here. That's why we are here. So next time when your kid tells you, I cannot do anything, but you brought me. I didn't ask to come here. No, you tell them, no. You did it yourself. You want it, and then it just happened to be us. Boy. Their parents are nothing more than conduits, medium. Okay. So how am I running in time? Oh, it's 10 o'clock. So we have to follow the schedule. But I can finish very quickly. What is nirvana? Simple. The state of existence where there is no greed, no hatred, and no ignorance. It could be here and now. It is not somewhere you go. When you go, I want to attain nirvana, go to nirvana, it's not a place. It's a state of mind. So if you learn the Buddhist way to happiness, then you can see sparks, light at the end of that tunnel all the time. And experience that joy, that moment of lesser greed, lesser hatred, and lesser ignorance. And that's approximating, getting closer to nirvana. Last but not least, what is the Buddhist definition of happiness? I want to read something from the Dhammapada. It's verses of the Buddha's wisdom. It says, how very happily we live, free from hostility among those who are hostile. Among hostile people, free from hostility we dwell. How very happily we live, free from misery, among those who are miserable. Among miserable people, free from misery we dwell. How very happily we live, free from busyness among those who are busy. Among busy people, free from busyness we dwell. Notice that when the Buddha talks about happiness, he doesn't say, how very happily we live, free from hostility, and then get away from the hostile people. Run away from the hostile people. Run away from the miserable people. Run away from the busy people. Run away from the afflicted people. He doesn't say that. Because our happiness, it's a state of mind. Question. Can someone else make you angry? Those who think that other people can make us angry, raise your hands. Then how come when we see our own baby or a cute child doing something awful, we just smile and we laugh? How come in our mind, when we already have given some leg room, we don't get angry? Theoretically, and according to the Buddha, no one can make us angry. We get angry because we have inner anger, just waiting to show itself given the right conditions. Other people are just conduits. They're just conditions. The cause is internal, not external. Because if you try to get away from angry people all your life, you will become the angriest person on earth. You get it? Because we are always trying to get away from angry people. And there's one angry person you can never get away from. You know who that is? Yourself. So you have to deal with that angry person. Okay. So that's it. That's Buddhism 101. Has that been clear?